in unity. You are looking lovely. We invite you guys to stand and sing along with us. I'm thankful, y'all.
Welcome to our celebration service this Sunday here at Unity of Houston. This is the time where you get to welcome each other in whatever way you feel most comfortable.
This morning singing, God is so good. Oh, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Oh, I got up this morning singing, God is so good. Oh, my God is so good to me. Oh, I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Oh, I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. You know I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. God is so good to me.
Attention Unity Women, we have 2 opportunities for you this month, and they're both related to the Trunk and Treat Bookmobile that we do every year, or as some people call it, the Bookmobile. So the first opportunity is on Saturday, October 18th, where we will gather to sort the books by English and Spanish and all the different age groups. You're welcome to bring books to donate or just come and help us sort them, because we'll have 600 to 700 books. The second opportunity is on Saturday, October the 25th, when we will be handing out the books at Trunk and Treat. And I will say it's just heartwarming and delightful to see how excited some of these children get about getting a free book. So you can go online to the Unity Women page to get more information and to sign up. So I thank you for being a part of making sure we have enough books to have every child who comes through Trunk and Treat go home with one. So happy Halloween!
Hi, Unity family. I have a question and an invitation for you. When was the last time that you experienced awe or wonder in your life? Maybe it was when you're on a walk in the woods, like I am at the Houston Arboretum today. Maybe it was observing a hummingbird in your backyard. Or maybe you've been lucky enough to go to a national park and observe a sunset there. Did you know that seeing beauty in nature is only one of the 8 ways that we can evoke awe in our lives? And it completely benefits our mind, our bodies, and our spirits. It happens to be one of my favorite things to talk about and favorite spiritual practices. My name's Mary Schaefer. I've spent my career in helping people in museums, in the space industry, and in spiritual community connect to more awe and wonder. And I hope that you'll join me on October 15th, Wednesday, October 15th, in the Unity Pyramid. We're gonna have an experiential workshop where we will move a little bit, we'll have some fun, we'll learn about awe, and we'll connect with each other as well. And we'll also learn about why this matters the most now. I'll give you a little hint, it makes the world a better place. So with that, I hope that you'll join me and hope to see you there.
Am I on? Am I on? There we go. That's Mary Schaefer. If you don't know her, she's relatively new to our community, been coming a while, but now she's kind of coming off the bleachers and sharing all the good things that she has to offer. So she's really something. You'll want to come Wednesday midweek, and thank you, Reverend Shirley, for finding these people. And although I think I delivered her into your office, if I remember right. But it's a great thing. Midweek at Unity is very experiential. Today, after the service, we will be doing Lunch and Learn with Mike Nichols. He is our guest today. Let's just wave to everybody, Mike, so they can see who you are. Mike is the Director of Housing and Community Development for the City of Houston, kind of the czar of that area. And he's been here before when we have done World Homeless Weekend, which we're observing today a little later in the service. And after the service, you'll all be invited to come over to the Pyramid, where you can learn more about how we can be a part of the solution around this issue in Houston. Next week, we are welcoming back Dr. Jill Carroll for a workshop after church next Sunday. If you don't know Dr. Jill, she is incredible. She's one of our favorite guest speakers for decades now, and we have her again. So after service next week, she'll be in the Pyramid doing a workshop on world religions, which is just one of the areas that she is an expert in, and she's so engaging as a teacher, as a speaker. You don't want to miss this opportunity. So that'll be happening next Sunday. As you know, we are in the midst of our yearly pledge program. This is just where we like to have a grown-up conversation about finances for the next coming year. And so what we're asking folks to do is consider, if you are going to be financially supporting Unity of Houston in 2026, that you would fill out a pledge card. And we have one of our own who's got a very powerful testimony about what this has meant for him. So please welcome Ben Whittle, one of our UIC leadership team. And we're so happy you're here, Ben.
If I haven't met you, my name is Ben Whittle. I found Unity in the early 90s in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I moved here in 1995, and when I did, I immediately started attending here in the Pyramid. However, I didn't become a member until December of 22. I just wasn't ready to make that commitment. But what I did commit to was pledging every year, even though I wasn't a member. When I became a member in 22, I dove head on into not only giving of my financial resources, but of my time as well. So I immediately registered for Prosperity Plus 3. And I received the material before I actually started the class, and I took some time to read through the material, and there's 4 quadrants in our lives. And so I looked at each quadrant, and I was happy about my progress in a number of them, but I felt like that there were a lot of areas where I needed to grow. So I went to the class the first week, and again, I think that my spiritual source, and I call him God, the person or the thing, the being God, was speaking to me. Now, I didn't hear him speak to me audibly, but I felt it in my heart that, hey, Ben, you really need to listen, and you need to see what you can walk away from this with. So after the first meeting, I looked at my giving because I had always tithed. I learned at an early age that I always got back more than I gave. But what I didn't do was I didn't tithe on my gross. I justified tithing on my net income because that's all I got, and so that's all God expected from me. So I made a commitment after that first session that from that day forward, I was going to tithe on my gross. Oddly enough, the first week that I made my contribution, I received a $2,700 check that I wasn't expecting. Didn't know it was coming. So from that day forward, I've always tithed on my gross income, and I haven't looked back. I want to encourage you to examine your own lives with regards to giving. We just sang a song about how good God is. If you want to see how good God can really be, reach in your pockets and make a contribution. I want to tell you that a lot of people probably wonder, what do we do with the money that we collect here? And our goal is to raise $1.4 million. I looked this morning, we have commitments for about $280,000. So we're about 20% there. Our goal is to have 400 participants pledge, and we're only at 54, so we're 14% where we need to be. So we've got a lot of work to do. But I want to let you know that $1.4 million doesn't include an expensive sports car for Michael. It does not include a home for Michael in River Oaks. And I promise you, we're not going to buy a jet plane for Michael to have. All we're going to do with those funds is, first of all, we're going to maintain this building and this structure. It's an older structure, and things break down. Remember when we didn't have air conditioning a couple of years ago? We got to pay to keep the lights on. We got to pay to have water. And we have a number of programs here that support not only our Unity community, but the community around us in the city of Houston. And we can't do those things if we don't raise the money. So I want to challenge you to examine your own heart and your own life and to make a commitment, if you haven't done it in the past, that you're going to pledge. I promise you that you're going to get back more than you give. And every year I've pledged, I've never, ever, ever given less than I pledged to do. My daily mantra is that I go out and do what is mine to do, and that includes not only giving financially to this community, but to give my time as well. And as a result of that, I go to bed every night and I sleep well, because I know that when I wake up the next morning, because I've done what it was mine to do, that God, my source, is going to open up the windows of heaven and is going to dump all kinds of prosperity on my life, because I experience it every day. So I encourage you to tap into how good God can be in your life, because I'm not any more special than you. We all have the abundance of this universe available to us, but you got to ask for it, and there's a little work on your part that's required too. You got to give to get back. So thank you, and give it a lot of thought, and let us work to not only achieve our $1.4 million, but to exceed it. Thanks a lot.
So there is no required percentage or amount. I'm just going to say that. Thank you, Ben. And Ben is one of those people who's really stepped into it in a very intentional way, and I have been also on that path for a long time. So whatever amount you could pledge, it will help. It just helps us to budget if we know how much people are planning to give next year. The pledge cards are available on the tables as you leave the sanctuary, and it's right there on the webpage. You'll find a pledge button at the top, and you can also go to Helpful Links that has all of our announcements today. So we have a wonderful team called the Growth Team at Unity of Houston, which looks at different ways that we can begin to grow and spread the message and do some marketing. And we have another way that you can participate. No giving required. We'd like to give you a yard sign. If we have about 250 of them that we have available, and if you would like to be an advertisement for Unity of Houston, I encourage you to take a yard sign. They're available in the lobby today, and only take them if you're planning on putting it up. We don't want it in your closet. But it was a thing that the team came up with as an easy way that people can be a part of spreading the word about Unity of Houston. So consider doing that and take one if that calls to you. All right, I think that's all of our announcements. I'd like to just welcome everyone who is here today. If you're here in person or online, if this is your first Sunday with us and you're in person, we encourage you to go to the table in the lobby where you see the gift bags. One of those is for you. That your presence here today is a gift to us, and so we have a present for you in a gift. If you're watching online and you've never filled out our online connection card, we'd ask you if you could do that. Just lets us know who you are, how you found out about us, and whether or not you would like to be on our email list. And with all those announcements out of the way, we'll now move into our time of spiritual practice. I'm going to ask Siobhan to come out, and she's going to sing this beautiful song to move us into a space of meditation.
Will your heart and soul say yes? Will your spirit still say yes? If I told you what I really need, would your heart and soul say yes? Would your heart and soul say yes? Would your spirit still say yes? There is more that I require of thee. Would your heart and soul say yes?
Just take whatever posture is most comfortable for you for meditation. For me, it's sitting with my feet on the floor, allowing the chair to fully support me. With a strong spine and a soft belly. That's a shortcut I got from a teacher once, just a way to have a gentle, focused awareness. And now, let's begin to notice the breath. Bring all of your conscious awareness to the next breath as it enters and leaves your body. Leaving all other thoughts aside, breathing in together, breathing out together. So each breath is an invitation to remember our connection to life, to spirit, to one another. It's said that in every breath we draw into our body atoms and molecules that were in the bodies of Jesus of Nazareth, of Gandhi, of all the great ones, that we're a part of that. In every out-breath, we release the carbon our bodies no longer require, which is used by all of the plant life of our beautiful Mother Earth to photosynthesize and create all of the oxygen and food we need. And what we need right now is another breath. Body requires, all the trillions of cells in our body requires oxygen. They require it. So we breathe it in, and there it is. So this most simple and basic function of our body is actually a doorway into a deeper relationship with the spiritual universe. We receive what we need. We give what is ours to give. We could not survive without the in-breath or the out-breath. There is a cycle, an infinity loop of giving and receiving. For many of us, there may be a block on the receptivity side of that in maybe some of the areas of our lives. So if there is a place where you feel not supported or you're not receiving what life has to offer you, I invite you just to visualize that area of life as you breathe in and imagine that you're breathing in financial abundance, you're breathing in healthy relationships, breathing in radiant physical health in your body. Whatever your need is, imagine that Spirit is already showering you with the potential for these blessings. Now use the breath as a metaphor, as a symbol to breathe in and receive. Welcome the experience. And maybe life is calling you into some greater expansion. A place where you can give your gift, your talent, your time. Is there something that is calling you to where you can give to support others? And with every exhale, imagine giving from the abundance of your own life back into the whole, into the all that is God, that is humanity, that is the universe. Breathing in, breathing out. We receive what we need, and we give from the overflow of our blessings. We are grateful. Amen.
When you speak, confusion fades. Just one word, and suddenly I'm not afraid, 'cause you speak, and freedom reigns. There is hope in every single word you say. I don't want to miss one word you speak. Everything you say is life to me. I don't want to miss one word you speak. So quiet my heart, I'm listening. When sorrows roar and trouble rage, you whisper peace. To say I won't lose hope when storms won't break. You keep your word, and your promises will keep me safe. I don't want to miss one word you speak, 'cause everything you say is life to me. I don't want to miss one word you speak. see what I cannot see. And I don't want to miss one word to speak. No, no. 'Cause everything you say is a lie to me. Oh, I don't want to miss one word you speak. So quiet my heart, I'm listening. Oh, I don't want to miss one word you speak. Oh, everything you say is life to me. Oh, one word you speak. So quiet my heart, I'm listening. See, I don't want to miss one word you speak. 'Cause everything you say is life to me. I don't want to miss one word you speak. So quiet my heart, I'm listening.
Wow, thank you, Siobhan, Rona, Jamaica, Tatiana. That was John Edward Ross on the guitar solo. Fabulous. And thank you, Mark, Vernon, and Gary. We have great music here. It makes my job a lot easier because I already know you got something. But I love that we have we really just open to receive the gifts of so many different parts of culture. And so we have gospel music with electric guitar solos. We do hymns. We do it all. It's just great. So I love a guitar solo. And I love a church joke, don't you? Sermon joke. I actually have two for you today. They're both short. So if the first one isn't good enough, I've got another one. We'll see. Saw this online. In my town, there's a Journey church, a Journey dog rescue, and a Journey cemetery. And they all use the same tagline: "We have a spot for you." Do I need another one? All right, this is a quick one. I think a garage sale is a great idea to help manage my junk, right? But if I sell my garage, where am I going to put all my junk? Yeah, all right, that's enough. Let's get to it. So we're talking about Touchstone 2025, a hero's journey, answering the call. Last week, Reverend Stacy and I kind of set this up. We explained that this idea of the heroic journey, it really came to us from Joseph Campbell, from a book from the 1940s called A Hero with a Thousand Faces, that there is a monomyth that shows up in all cultures. It shows up in all the great stories of an individual, can be a man or a woman, who has felt the call to some greater life, and they've answered that call, and they faced all sorts of trials on a journey of transformation. And they return to the place they started, but they are changed. They have grown, they've expanded, they have been healed and maybe wounded. And they bring a gift, a boon, an elixir, a treasure that is not just for them, but something they share with the community. Years ago, George Lucas in the 1970s was writing Star Wars. And he said that he got the concept for all 9 of those major movies. That was one story for him. And it wasn't making sense. He couldn't pull it together. It was so big, he didn't know what to do with it. And somebody said, you should read the Joseph Campbell book, Hero with a Thousand Faces. And he's like, oh, there are 12 stages. I'm going to write this story in those 12 stages of the hero's journey. And you can see what an impact, why it was so resonant. Why does it resonate with people generation after generation of all ages and all diverse ways that people are? It's because it's the story of our own soul. It's the story of our own healing. It's the story of our life. As last week, our talk title was, it's the story of us. And what we talk about, and I love too about this hero's journey idea, the monomyth, this idea of using these archetypal ways of understanding how life happens with us and to us and for us and from us, is that you can approach it from a purely psychological standpoint, and it works. Or you can approach it from a spiritual standpoint, and it works. It helps us to understand that we're a part of something larger than we have yet experienced. So today, I'm starting at the beginning The call to adventure. This is the first stage of 12 in the hero's journey or the heroic journey. I'm going to speak a quote and we'll see if anybody knows who said it. Life is either a daring adventure or it is nothing. Does anybody know who that is? Who? Helen Keller. Somebody got it. That's right. Helen Keller. Yeah, you get a prize when you leave. Get an affirmation card. Helen Keller. Do you know the story of Helen Keller, right? She wasn't born deaf and blind, but she had an illness as a baby, and so didn't speak or hear or see. And then Annie Sullivan was the teacher, turned into a play called The Miracle Worker that then became a movie and won awards everywhere it was on. It's just an amazing story. And so this person, this little girl who had no access to those amazing senses, learned to speak and to read and to write, and she wrote a book. That line is from her first book that she wrote. Now that's a heroic journey. And she understood that the circumstances that would keep us small are not there to keep us small. That they're there so that we may grow through those trials and those challenges. I mean, most of you here, I'm guessing that you can see and hear, because you're here and you're looking at me, and you have much more access in some ways than she did to the potential of what life can bring. And look at what she accomplished, because she knew this. Life is a daring adventure, or it's nothing. And here's the thing, I'm talking about calling today. That in all of these great stories, there is a call to a bigger life. Luke Skywalker got the call. Harry Potter got the call. Dorothy of Wizard of Oz got the call. Moana, I was thinking about Moana. If you haven't seen that one, I love that Disney is still telling these stories over and over again for new generations. And now they're beginning to reflect the diversity of our world in a beautiful way. You know, Moana was a Polynesian girl. And she received the call as a baby. The ocean called to her to find the lost heart of Tahiti. I can't remember the name of the goddess, but to return the heart to the goddess and end the drought. But her father was afraid of the ocean, so he kept her from the ocean. But that call kept coming to her. And it's so cute in the animation. The little waves would come tap her on the shoulder when she was near. They would splash over. There was just something in her that the ocean needed and was asking for it, and she felt something in her was being asked for. And boy, did she have some trials. Go, if you haven't seen that movie, owe it to yourself. I haven't seen Moana 2 yet, but the first one is great. And that's the hero's journey right there. You can see all of these stages, or pick whatever one you want to, but watch one of these. I haven't even talked about the Lord of the Rings yet, but I mean, come on. They're epic themes of our ability to overcome and to become more than we know we are to be. That's what it is. You are more than you yet have experienced yourself to be, and you're being called to that greater life right now. And as the singers just sang, sometimes it comes as the voice of God. As Ben said, he felt that call to step into giving and receiving in his financial world in a deeper way. He felt it, not with audible words, but you just that sense of something was calling to you, right, Ben? Yeah, and he answered the call. Well, years ago, I attended the Agape International Spiritual Center in Los Angeles. They used to do a conference called Revelations, and my dear friend Maggie Cole, who's going to be on this stage with me in 2 weeks, she's giving the Sunday message. She loved that conference. I went with her a few times, but I think it was my first time to go, and there was a speaker who spoke about calling. And she's become a friend of mine. Her name is Reverend Sheila McKeithen. She is the president of UFBL, United Federation for Better Living. It's the predominantly African-American New Thought movement. There are churches all over the U.S., and her church is in Kingston, Jamaica. Well, she was an assistant attorney general in Florida who got a fatal diagnosis. And that was her calling to step into a different life. And she found these principles that we teach here in Unity in the New Thought movement and began to hold a different possibility. And she was healed of that illness. And she felt this call then to step into what we call ministry, service, and leadership. We had her here 3 years ago during my sabbatical when we had no air conditioning. That was the summer that we had a $500,000 air conditioning failure in this place. Boy, we were all called to something greater then, weren't we? And you all stepped up to it, and we got through that. Well, Sheila said in that conference all those years ago, probably around, 2004, something like that, in Los Angeles, she said, everybody has a call on their life. And then she referenced the Hebrew scriptures, and she said, some of you have a David call, and some of you have a Moses call. The David call is that the high priest Samuel comes to your house and anoints you with oil and says, you are to be the next king of Israel. There it is. And then some of you get a Moses call where God says to Moses, I need you to go talk to Pharaoh for me. More will be revealed. Most of us have a Moses call. Do this thing. And then that'll lead to this thing. In my recovery work, I found, somebody gave me this metaphor years ago. It's like we're in a giant attic that is completely pitch dark, and it's filled with all these obstacles and things, and you're given a flashlight that illuminates exactly 18 inches. Enough to take a step. Everyone has a call on their life. I didn't know mine would get me up here, but it did. Yours may not get you into any place where you have to get a new title before your name. But there is a greater you that is asking for the opportunity to know itself and to express itself. And here's a clue about how that's happening right now. What's your biggest problem? You see, these stories all have huge problems. Many times, the call is a crisis in the community, a crisis in our own lives, that it's something is just saying more. I need more of you. And Mary Morrissey is the one who gave me that language once. She said, I don't know what your biggest problem is, but I know you have one. And I know that that is the place where Spirit is seeking to be made more real in your life. So, the call is often disguised as a diagnosis, as a financial crisis, as a broken relationship. I'm pretty vulnerable and authentic about my stories, right? You all have heard my drunkalogs. You've heard all my I haven't talked about my love life too much, have I? Sometimes a call comes into our life as a handsome man or a beautiful woman or some fabulous non-binary pal. We are smitten. Something calls us forward. Has anybody else ever experienced the fact that it don't always turn out the way you hoped? Is it just me? Yeah. I've been working on a book, and people are asking about it. Well, I've got some resistance to that call, too. But I'm working with a wonderful developmental editor, Gina Carroll. No relation, although Jill calls her cousin. Gina is African-American. And Gina has been working with me for over a year now, a year and a half, I think. And we're working now on creating a book proposal. I've done the first draft of the book. And the working title, I've shared it before, it's There Is Only Love, How a Good Little Gay Boy Survived Christian Fundamentalism and Held On to God. So we'll see if that remains the title or not. But in working on the book proposal that she has me now doing, I would have to give the elevator pitch, just write 2 or 3 sentences. So you can, in the time to write an elevator, you could say, this is what it's about. It needs to be compelling. And so I kind of wrote something based on that title. And Gina, last time we met, she said, I got an idea about this. What about this for a sentence? Michael Gott has everything but the one thing he wants. That's a compelling sentence. And because she's read my book, she knows. What I always wanted was that 40-year relationship with one person that I could just give all my love and be loved so beautifully. And it has not happened. And it's been a hard thing in my life. I keep trying. I keep getting the call. But for many of us, the disguise of the call, it's not actually in that person, is it? It's actually in something about us. Does anybody like breakup songs? I love them. I love them. So yesterday, Brandi Carlile is one of my favorite singer-songwriters, and she has a new album coming out in a few days. So I just told Alexa, don't answer. I just said, Alexa, just play Brandi Carlile. I was driving home from a memorial service in Dallas yesterday, and there's a song that came up that I'd loved. I knew it. It was one of her older songs, but I want to read you a lyric. It's the opening verse and the chorus. A love song was playing on the radio. It made me kind of sad because it made me think of you. And I wonder how you're doing, and I wish I didn't care, because I gave you all I had and got the worst of you. By the way, I forgive you. After all, maybe I should thank you for giving me what I've found, because without you around, I've been doing just fine, except anytime I hear that song. I know, you should hear her sing it. It's so good. And so I have about 3 relationships I can relate to in that song alone. But the lyric there that I really want to draw our attention to, maybe I should thank you for everything I found. Because I will tell you, my journey of looking for Mr. Right has led me into the deepest work of self-discovery and healing childhood wounds of anything I've been on. It has opened me to look at my belief system around who I think I am and what I have to offer and what I think I deserve. You know, somebody said everyone pretty much gets the love they think they deserve. Ouch. Thank you very much. But I've seen that play out in my life again and again. I'm still listening for that call. Somebody new. I'll say more about it later down the road, but I've also got a therapist. I have a leadership coach. What else do I have? I have a new sponsor in my recovery work, and I have 4 prayer partners. I'm looking at me. That's what I'm doing, is I'm looking at me in this work. So, how many of you experience resistance when you think about a new expanded life? Well, if they're really good looking, you don't resist at all. You're like, come on. But the resistance isn't there because the resistance is in looking at us. So I mentioned resistance with in the Moana story, it was her father that kept her from the call of the ocean. The resistance to the call is one of the 12 stages, and it's not a bad thing. It's a part of our heroic journey. And so I thought we'd just take a moment to think about the ways that we resist and why we resist. That's all I'm going to say about my love life. I'll keep you posted. Matthew, the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 14. For many are called, but few are chosen. I always hated that passage. There's something about the evangelical Christianity I grew up with that was so exclusive. Only a few get to go to heaven. According to the book of Revelation, 144,000. That doesn't seem like a very good percentage if you think about all of the souls. That was actually how I ended up leaving that fundamentalist theology, because I just crunched the numbers. And it's like, no way. No way a loving creator would make that system. But it was actually while I was still in that teaching that somebody explained what this passage, this from words of Jesus, actually means. Many are called, but few are chosen. But we are chosen by our choosing, by answering the call. Whatever life is calling for us and calling from us, if we say yes, we are chosen. We are chosen by our choice to answer the call. There is a Zen story, a parable from Zen Buddhism that I love. The parable is that a man had a baby swan that he loved so dearly, and he wanted to protect it from all harm. So he put it inside a glass bottle with a small opening. The baby could fit in there, and the glass was thick, and there was no way that any harm could come to this swan. And he fed and cared for the swan, and you know what happened? The swan grew too big for the bottle. And he was left with like a koan, a riddle. The only way to save the swan's life was to break the bottle, but the glass would kill the swan. So Mark Nepo, who's one of my favorite writers, he talked about this parable, and then he says this: too often, in an effort to protect ourselves from being hurt, we place our soft and growing heart in a clear jar of distrust, never dreaming that the heart continues, like the baby swan, to grow. Too often, we can contain our way of being within our way of surviving. I think I need to read that line again. We can contain our way of being within our way of surviving. This is how we can wall in our own hearts over time. And even the most unassuming and cautious of beings can find themselves having to break their hearts, their way of feeling in the world, in order to free themselves of their hardened, clear resolve. But many of us simply live with the hardness, if we can call such a constraint living. With such suffocation of heart in mind, Rachel Naomi Remen wisely asks, is it possible to live so defensively that you never get to live at all? I know that was a long reading, but boy, it just hit me between the eyes this week. That we are so afraid of losing what we have. We have such a high need for safety and security. We're so afraid of what we don't know. And the truth is, you know nothing about the future. It could change the moment you leave this building today in a way you had no idea. But we think we can control, and so we stay trapped. We stay in our tight little jar of our own comfort zone, really. I guess that's the best way to say it. And you've heard that phrase too, that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. That if we are to answer the call to adventure, we're going to have to face our resistance to that call, and it's usually around our need for safety and predictability. We're going to have to venture into places we've never been before. And this is all metaphor. I don't want anybody moving away from this church. We need you here, so. Unless, as it often happens, and our ministers will attest, that people do get the call. They start doing these practices and this work, and something expands, and they move off somewhere else. I just say we tithe them to the universe. That's what happens. And you all are the new ones are the benefits of that. That's how we got paid back. And I got some feedback from one of our longtime members. He said, you're not selling this New Thought stuff very well. You're talking about how hard it is all the time. So let me just say, I want to balance this kind of deep metaphor of the challenges of life being part of our becoming with the good stuff. We do get to dream big dreams and see those dreams realized by using these principles. We do get to see a bigger life in vision and step by step see it revealed in us, through us, as us. It happens. I mean, my life is so much bigger, so much more amazing and fulfilling than I had any idea was possible. And I did it using the principles we teach here. And I had to do the hard work too. Sometimes we get this idea that we'll just put it on a vision board and it happens. No pain, no gain, no muss, no fuss. Here's what I want, there it is, done. How many of you have ever experienced that? Anyone? You have? Just done and one and done? No. Do you know why? The person who created that vision board was not the person who could deliver it. The person who answers the call is not the person who fulfills the call. Because you need the journey to become the person who can fulfill the vision. And you're going to have to walk through all bits of resistance, every false belief. There's an old metaphysical teaching that it's in Emily Cady's book, The Lessons in Truth. It's called chemicalization. Some of you know that. She wrote this in the 1890s. And the idea is this, that when we set an intention, we answer the call to a bigger life, we step into something greater than we know that we know is ours, every belief that is unlike that will rise up in our face. The metaphysical Bible interpretation of this is the chariots and the horsemen from Egypt when we're at the edge of the Red Sea. There's something in this that says, are you sure? Are you sure? Don't you want to go back to Egypt? Yeah, you were enslaved, but they fed you there. That was what it was reported that the people said. But something is calling us to a deeper life. And so we just have to say yes without knowing how we're going to do it. We don't have this. We don't have the skills. We don't have the abilities. We don't have the wise and trusted mentors and friends that come along the hero's journey. We don't have any of that yet. We just have to step into it. And that other stuff just begins to come. My friend Melinda Wood-Allen, she's preaching in Dallas this morning. She has a New Thought church. She's actually affiliating with Unity. Her church has been independent for a long time, but they're becoming a Unity community. And she says she prays for pop-up people all the time. Pop-up people on the path. People that have knowledge I don't have. People that have experience I don't have. I've just been to pray. And you know what? They do. They just show up. I'll be talking about one thing and a friend of mine says, I went through that a few years ago. Here's what I did. I called this person. That's exactly how I found this editor. I was talking to my friend Kim King. It's like, I know I need to write a book, and I've got all this material. I don't know what to do, and I've been told that I need a development editor. She said, well, you should call my friend Jean Carroll. And I did. She's a pop-up person on my path. But I had to be willing to take the step to begin to write and to begin to talk about it, and then something happened, and it will continue to happen. And I've been writing a long time, but now I'm becoming a writer. I'm getting equipped to do some new thing that is calling to me. I call this is my final point, and I call this, God equips the called. Have you ever heard that? God does not call the equipped. God equips the called. Do you get it? And if you don't like the word God, don't use it. It's fine. It doesn't care. But some force of life itself. I love the force in Star Wars. That may be my favorite image for God ever. Something that is all around us and within us that is impelling us into our own evolution and growth and becoming. It is calling us forward. And it knows we don't know how to use that lightsaber yet. It knows that. And it will bring what we need into alignment. I've got to bring this thing to a close. We are not equipped when we answer the call. Exactly. That's right. I resisted my call to ministry hugely for years because I knew I didn't have what it took, and I was right. But I kept moving forward, and through some difficulties and through sometimes we grow through joy. Absolutely, we do. And amazing people that have come to help me on the journey. In 2006, I was just on the cusp of I had already said I would start taking classes in ministerial school, but I didn't, I don't know. I was in New York. I'd reconciled with a former partner who was living there, and I was spending time in Dallas and in New York, and I'm a little kid from Avan, Oklahoma. My mom tells this story that when I was about 6, we were watching some movie on TV, and she said that I turned to the family and I just said, what I want is to be on a street of a big city where there are 1 million people around me and I don't know any of them and none of them know me. Because I grew up in a small town where everybody knew my business. And so I love big cities, and I spent a lot of time in New York. And I remember there was a Saturday, I was going up on the Upper West Side to see a friend's new apartment. And this was before we had maps on our phones. And I knew the train to take, and I took the subway uptown and had coffee with her. And then I was meeting another friend in the Lower East Side, and I knew how to do that and where to take the shuttle at Grand Central Station. I knew all of that. And I was like, as I was getting on the train to take me to the Lower East Side, I thought, look at me, little Avan, Oklahoma boy, knowing how to navigate New York City. And I was at a choice point. Either I was going to move to New York and probably pursue music full time, and my partner was well off, and he was going to let me do whatever I wanted to do. But I felt this other call, and it was about these teachings, and it was about communities like ours, and it was a lot scarier. But I made that decision on that train in New York that day. And ever since then, it has been the most fulfilling and challenging journey of my life, and I love it. I love what I get to do now. And this is where I was going to talk about the Hegelian dialectic, and we're out of time. It's real simple. Hegel was a German philosopher who said that evolution comes in 3 stages. It can be cultures, it can be humanity itself, but thesis, antithesis, and synthesis. The easy way to think about it is in the Victorian era, there was a huge shame around sexuality, and so they even put skirts so you wouldn't see the legs of the chair. I mean, they were really into that prudish, and it didn't work. So then what came out of that was sort of the swinging 60s, the sexual liberty and all of that, and that was the antithesis. And then somebody said that what we have now is a place where if you want to have a traditional monogamous marriage, great, do that. If you want to explore something, there's space in our culture to do more. That's the synthesis. There's freedom in that for all. 6,000 years ago, we believed that human cultures were matriarchal, There was a feminine ethos about giving, belonging, supporting. That was the structure of human culture. And then it's thought as cultures grew and competition for resources and crowding became an issue, conquering, the masculine ethos entered. And this teaching is sort of a masculine approach. I want to say that. But what I think we're being asked to do is come up with a synthesis of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. We don't need the matriarchy to be placed back in top. We need each of us to be able to now weave together the divine feminine, the divine masculine in our own lives, and that will heal our culture. Because what I think we're seeing right now with the breakdowns, it's the toxic masculine culture that we're seeing. And we need the divine feminine in us, in men and in women, to come forward. We have a greater care for one another, a greater sense of mutual responsibility for others in our world. And I believe that I saw one teacher on this. He said, we can build a clean factory next to a park. That right there. Isn't that a beautiful idea of the masculine and the feminine? We're not going to get rid of all the factories. We like our stuff. But we need to be caring for the earth too. Last week, we gave the Marilyn Huggins Leadership Award to Stephanie Foy and to Cindy Wolfram for their leadership. I think these two women, if you weren't here, watch the video. It was amazing. They did all the preliminary research, along with Reverend Mindy Lawrence, to create our unity in the community. I think we're in the synthesis of this divine masculine and divine feminine right here at Unity of Houston right now. That we want to empower people to take that journey and claim what is theirs in terms of their good in this life, and we also want to be a part of a healing journey for others, those who need right around us. So today, we have a very special guest, Mike Nichols. His work has been about how we can support one another in huge and profound and practical ways. He's going to be coming after this service. I invite you to come over to the Pyramid, have lunch with us. It's a $10 love offering, but come even if you don't have the $10 and just hear how we can be a part of this next stage of our evolution as we balance the heart and the head here at Unity. That's going to be it for my talk. I just want to say we're only beginning the journey, so everything I didn't get to say, I'll say next week. How's that? But I know that there is something calling us, individually and collectively. I encourage us all just to say yes. If no one has told you today that they love you, I love you. God bless you. Please welcome Mike Nichols to our stage to talk about what he wants to talk about.
I think the Rolling Stones once said, you can't always get what you want, but sometimes you may get what you need. I feel very emotional today after hearing Michael's speech. It's what I needed, and then I'll tell you a little bit about why that's true. I'm going to keep it to 3 minutes because I could talk a long time about this. First, Ben, I want to make sure I'm not a member, but I will do an annual commitment, and I'd like to, talk to other members, non-members, to do this annual commitment. You'll have that from me. That was not in my plan either. My plan was to speak about something from the Hebrew Bible that I thought was pretty misunderstood, which is that says you should not, in Leviticus, you shouldn't insult the deaf, or put a stumbling stone in front of the blind. And I've been thinking about that a lot. It's easy not to insult the deaf, I guess. They can't hear what you're saying. And why in the heck would you put a stumbling block in front of the blind? That didn't make any sense either. So I think what it started meaning to me is our goal is to remove the stumbling blocks. There's so many out there. And we'll talk about those this afternoon, about Houston, Texas. That has a 21% poverty rate. Those are 21% of the population have less than 30% of the annual median income. More than half, just about half the people in Harris County don't have $400 for an emergency. And we'll spend some time talking about that. There's a lot of issues that we have and that we're facing, and some of those are quite depressing. And so one of my goals and one of the reasons I got what I wanted today was there is something about this hero's journey that says, what are you doing it for? You can't just look at the stumbling blocks everywhere, because they are everywhere. So what are we doing to remove those stumbling blocks, and for not only the community, but for ourselves? And the hero's journey is something I love and think about, but it's funny when you don't think about it for yourself. I've been thinking about it for my 14-year-old granddaughter who's been with us, who couldn't get up this morning to come, because, boy, this would be perfect for her. So she's a great believer in the Greek myths and the hero's journey, but this would have been perfect for her. And as we talk about what we do, we'll talk about what we're trying to do in Houston on the issues of housing, of homelessness, and it's a long way to go. Now, when I add one other thing, I look in this audience and see a lot of people who are my age, maybe a little younger. I'm 73. And that seemed pretty old when I got the call, oddly enough, from Mayor Whitmire to be director of housing. He didn't call me on the telephone. He announced it on the radio. He had never called me before. I guess that's a David call. But this year I got a Moses call too. I'm trying to figure out how it fits. When I went to a doctor and they said, well, you have early onset Parkinson's, which so many people are getting the diagnosis. And I went, I don't know if I believe that, but I guess they know. And that's a calling, too, that we deal with. And so one of the things as I think about Michael's comment, sometimes we get multiple callings. And it's interesting to have to deal with that. But what I love about unity, just love it, is I walk away with a sense of hope, a sense of what that ultimate vision is, and a sense of coming home. So I look forward to speaking to you this afternoon.
Ushers, I'd invite you to come forward now. We have cards, prayer cards, that we're going to be passing out. We've done this now for, I think, 4 or 5 years. This is World Homeless Weekend. And we, just as a practice of awareness and compassion, you're all going to be given a card with 4 names on it. These are people from Search's database. I think they had about 9,000. So you'll have 4 names on here, that these are actual people who are experiencing homelessness. And so we're going to do a prayer about what is ours to do. But I'll wait till everyone gets the card. I know that, and Mike, you were the former president of the Coalition for Homeless. Yeah, it's like, so you have a deep experience of what this is. We have been, for the last 11 years, we've been asking, what could we do as a community, both in spiritual practice, we're going to do the prayer, but how can we serve those who do have those stumbling blocks before them? We're just preaching to each other this morning, Mike. I like that. That's good. So the cards are coming around for everyone. And this call is not only for us individually about what ours is to do to serve those who are less fortunate than we are in some ways, but it's also, we're going to be praying for what is ours to do as a community. So everyone in the balcony, you got your cards. I think we're coming to the back sections there. So if you already have your card, I just invite you to read those names to yourself. And I noticed that mine has 2, what appear to be men's names and 2 women. I'm just aware of that. This is something that affects so many people. I think we're there. So I invite you now to turn within. Oh, great God, the giver of all that is, you have given so much to us individually and collectively as a spiritual community. And So we bring these people to our hearts and minds. And so I invite you again to just open your eyes and see those names and know that each name is a story, a family, a life with many challenges, but a person like me and like you. So we hold these dear ones in this prayer. We know for them sufficiency. We know that they have access to the infinite source of all good, that is the divine. And the channels of that good coming to them can come in myriads of ways. And it may just be that I am one channel. Unity of Houston is another channel for good. So God, speak through us and to us. Show us how we may be a part of the solution, of the answer, of the healing of homelessness in Houston. May we be the hands and feet of God for those who need it. Guide us, show us, call us. We are listening, and we are grateful. Amen. So you're invited to take this home with you, and for as long as you feel compelled to keep it in a place where you can see, and just when you see these names, just hold them in prayer in your own way, and hold Unity of Houston in prayer too, that we may be led to the right way to serve and to solve this problem. Thank you.
This is the second week of our Touchstone series, so we have an affirmation to say together. You can pick up a card when you leave if you don't have one already. The affirmation is on the screen. Let us say this together. I say yes to life. I am willing to move beyond my comfort zone and live from a deeper truth within me. And thank you for saying yes to your inherent qualities and characteristics that make this world a better place. And thank you for saying yes to supporting this community. So now is the time that we give our gifts online or in present together. And let us bless our offering with this prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all the good I am and have, all the good I give and receive. So it is.
Can we fix our nation's broken heart? Are we brave enough to try? Ooh. Can we fix our nation's broken heart and leave a better world behind? 'Cause if we listen to different thoughts and point of views, oh my brother and sister, we don't have to lose humanity. We're family. So tell me, please, can we fix our nation's broken heart? Children marching on the boulevard, tears are streaming down their face. The tension in the air is so bizarre. Love has gone without a trace. People pushing and shouting and fighting through the haze. All the sadness and madness, help me take away the pain. It's gotta change. This can't stay the same. So help me please fix our nation's broken heart. Poverty and homelessness, can we do away with this? All we need is to be giving. For our daughters and our son, there is light in everyone. They deserve a new beginning, yeah. Will the light we share survive the dark? Or will it slowly fade away? crashing waves. We've been floating alone in a dark and bitter cold, 'cause there's a growing ocean of lies that we've been told to tear us down. But what I found is with our truth, compassion, love, we can fix our nation's broken heart. Can we fix our nation's broken heart? Are we brave enough to try? Ooh, we must fix our nation's broken heart and leave a better world behind. We've come together for a purpose far bigger than you and me. Ain't got no time for hatred and negativity. It's you and me. We hold the key. So tell me please, can we fix our nation's broken heart? Can we fix our nation's broken heart? Fix our nation's broken heart. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. We must fix our nation's broken heart.
We are accepting toiletries for the Beacon. There's a red bin in the lobby where you can place any donations you have for that. And then grief support meets generally the second Sunday of every month. That's in the reading room, which is in the bookstore building. It's a drop-in group. Anybody experiencing grief or loss, Reverend Cindy Klein will be facilitating that today. And remember our midweek at Unity this Wednesday, Awakening to Awe with Mary Schaefer. All of these announcements and more are available on our homepage, unityhouston.org, and prayer partners are down front to pray with you after the service.
And a reminder, there's not going to be a receiving line today because I'm going to be down with the UIC Lunch and Learn. Come join us and find out how we can be a part of the solution. Now, I ask you to rise as you're able, to stand as we can sing our peace song. Join me in the words of our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And today we declare God is good all the time.